Hi there. This is January the 7th, and in our readings today in Torah, in Genesis, we're continuing some of the themes of covenant which came out of Genesis 15. So with a diversion in Genesis 16, because of Sarah and Abraham's plot to do God's will without God's help, and they produce Ishmael through servant Hagar. But with that, after that diversion, we go back in Genesis 17 and 18 to the themes of covenant making. We saw that with Noah there was a sign that God put in the sky to do with his covenant. And there's also a sign that God makes in Abraham and in his male descendants, which is a sign of circumcision. It seems a very strange sign to make in a man, but actually it's a sign that man would remember forever in his most personal, most intimate place, his relationship with God. And circumcision is something which is continued, not physically, but spiritually for those who follow Jesus, because we are called to uncover our hearts and to make our hearts vulnerable, and for our hearts to be the place of the sign of the covenant. Then God does something amazing and puts part of his name into Abraham's name. One of the signs of covenant is of name change. And so God adds into the name Avram, he puts the sound H out of the name of God. He puts a H, which is a sign of the name of God. He puts that into the name of Abraham, and he becomes Avraham. And he does the same with his wife, Sarai, who becomes Sarah. So there's something of God's name woven into their human name. And then thirdly, he also has a meal with Abraham. So in Genesis 18, God actually comes and is a guest in the house of Abraham, and Abraham serves him food. Meals and food are part of covenant making, are very important, because there's something about having a guest in your house which expresses the protection of covenant. Having a guest under your roof means that you are in covenant with them. And so that covenant aspect goes right the way through these chapters of Genesis that we're reading today. And it reminds us that we are in covenant with God through Jesus, who himself is the mediator of the new covenant, or the renewed covenant that continues to us the blessings and the promises of Abraham. So enjoy this day, January the 7th, in that knowledge.